We're setting in the stage, making history in the heat. Voices rise and fall in a city that never sleeps. The radio show keeps spinning, the secret fakers keep. Let the Raiders roll, let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins, like a story told. Keep moving through the speakers, shaking up your soul. The Lunatic Radio Show, always on a roll. The city like splash me, right through the biggest night news on the radio. About to hit another high, everything you wanna know. But the school faking fast. To facts tight, gotta make this moment last. We bringing go, half strip like in the can, it was style. It's about to get wild. Let the Raiders roll, yeah. Let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins, like a story told. Keep moving through the speakers, shaking up your soul. Yeah, we Lunatik real, always on the road. On the strip like some insights, navigate the night. Truth in every state, pen and bitches so right. Love with a brand new secret. Yo, no, listen to the soul star. Pull your orb in that you can't ignore. The heart of Vegas sleep. The voice you can't ignore. Let the Raiders roll, yeah. Let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins, like a story told. Yeah. Keep moving through the speakers, shaking up your soul. The Lunatic Radio Show, always on a roll. Skyline to the desert, feel the rhythm of the beat. We're setting in the stage, making history in the heat. Voices rise and fall in a city that never sleeps. The radio show keeps spinning, the secret fakers keep. Let the Raiders roll, let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins, like a story told. Keep moving through the speakers, shaking up your soul. The Lunatic Radio Show, always on a roll. The city like splash me, right through the biggest night news on the radio. About to hit another high, everything you wanna know. But the school faking fast. To facts tight, gotta make this moment last. We bringing go, half strip like in the can, it was style. It's about to get wild. Let the Raiders roll, yeah. Let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins, like a story told. Keep moving through the speakers, shaking up your soul. Yeah, we Lunatik real, always on the road. On the strip like some insights, navigate the night. Truth in every state, pen and bitches so right. Love with a brand new secret. Yo, no, listen to the soul star. Pull your orb in that you can't ignore. The heart of Vegas sleep. The voice you can't ignore. Let the Raiders roll, yeah. Let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins, like a story told. Yeah. Keep moving through the speakers, shaking up your soul. The Lunatic Radio Show, always on a roll. Skyline to the desert, feel the rhythm of the beat. We're setting in the stage, making history in the heat. Voices rise and fall in a city that never sleeps. The radio show keeps spinning, the secret fakers keep. Let the Raiders roll, let the truth unfold. Las Vegas in our veins, like a story told. Keep moving through the.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome.
They're here.
Rise, my nation. Gather around and prepare. Our pride will be restored. Our shadow will fall with wicked damnation. Rise, my nation. Rise. This is your nation. This is our nation. This is the Raider Nation. Can you dig it?
What it is, Raider Nation. Welcome to another episode of the Lunatik Raiders show right here on Raiders Allegiance with your boy, Lunatik Raider. Man, we got a damn good show for you today. We're going to get a little cerebral today with our head coach, Pete Carroll. We're going to peel back the layers. We're not just going to look at the product on the football field. We're going to look at the buildup, the team building, the positive brainwash that Pete Carroll brings to this team that really changed the culture. And you start seeing it from what the other players are saying and what other people say about Pete Carroll and then what Pete Carroll said that he's bringing to the Raiders. He has a wealth of knowledge, being in the coaching realms for years, even as long as before some of us was born, or some of you. No, for real. But Pete Carroll's really changing the mindset of this team, and he's done it. He's doing it in a way that I guarantee you most of the teams in the NFL, most teams in team sport, they're not approaching it the same way. Pete Carroll's he's coming from a different angle, and his angle works because, and I think it's the foundation of why he won in the college ranks national champion, why he won in the NFL Super Bowl. He's changing the mindset of the players, and in return, the players come together and give you a product of unity as they move and as one. It's not just, to them, it's not a team, it's a family. And we're gonna break it down. I'm gonna break it down for you exactly, because it's very interesting that when I watch some of these interviews and I listen to them talk about Pete Carroll, they all say the same thing about connecting with each other. Well, how do we do that? How do we connect with each other if we come from different walks of life, different racial backgrounds, different religious backgrounds, political backgrounds? How do you bring a group like that together? You know what I mean? How do you tear down the wall that usually someone you might not see yourself engaged with in social intercourse, or someone that you don't feel that they understand you because they don't come from where you come from? How do you tear down those walls to get these guys to overlook that and then become friends and sharing experiences and then become able to, you know what I mean? That's Pete Carroll's superpower. As you can see from the thumbnail, Pete Carroll's superpower, man, is being able to tear down walls. But he doesn't tear down the walls. He provides you with everything for the players to do it themselves. That's the beauty of it. See, it's easy. It's like, for instance, you have kids and you have to tell your kids to clean their room. That's one thing. But if you instill the things in your kid to make them clean their room on their own, that's a way different. You know what I mean? That's a different experience. Like, you're proud. So you supply the tools for those people, individuals, to grow, and them having those tools to grow will open up doors for them to be able to knock down walls of their own. Dude, this shit is so deep, bruh. It's kind of mind blowing, because I've heard of no other coaches bringing that philosophy and that approach to a team sport, which now I understand why Rich Eisen said about the class that Pete Carroll gave at USC, life is sport. Or sport is life. One of the two, the name of the class is, and it makes perfect sense. Sports is the perfect example of how you can go through life and work with others that you did not grow up with or believe in their ideology of this concept and that construct, but yet you still find a way to the bond and you do have a common ground on something. The common ground is, even though we don't come from the same walks of life, our common ground is we're trying to win a championship. So there always are things in life that can bring people together that you would never assume those two people will come together. So in this time and day and age and what's going on in the world now, this is something that we all need. So we're going to break down Pete Carroll. But before I do that, we got to shout out to the world's most dangerous chat, man. Come on now. Shout out to hey, Raider at Peaches, my girl, man, keeps holding it down for your boy, man. I appreciate you. You just don't know. Billy Davis, man, salute to you, my guy. I hope all is well with you. My 2 cents is in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We up in here, baby. On this beautiful Tuesday. You feel me? Mike G in the building, man. Salute to you, my brother. Hope all is well. Yes, sir. I'm going through. And then now look, now Peaches want to get in on it.
Might have time. There you go. There you go.
There go, yo. There you go. There you go. Shout out to Pete Carroll, man. Shout out to Peaches. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Raider Paul the building, man, and he's dropping them Fifth Ward B's on you.
Might have time. There you go. There you go.
Yes, indeed, man. We in here thicker than thieves. You feel me? I got bars, man. I got bars on accident. You feel me? This gonna be a damn good show, y'all. Hey, Willie Wayne, man, salute to you, man. Good to have you here. Yes, sir. Yes, man. Give me the motherfucking microphone. Let me bust like a bubble. You feel me? Silver and black in the house. Now you know you in trouble. Okay, let's go. Where my homegirl at? Myra G in the building, man. Salute to you. Thank you for pulling up. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Who else we got? I gotta scroll down, man. Y'all got your track shoes on, man. I gotta catch up with you. Robert P in your building. You already know what it is, man.
Might have time. There you go. There you go.
There you go. There you go. Sound like he should have been on No Limit. There you go. There you go. Sound like Master P, huh? Pete Carroll signed to No Limit, y'all. He dropping an album this summer. Hey, be ready for it. It's called No Holds Barred. Yes, indeed, man. We got 651 ENT, man. What it is. Thank you for pulling up, man. Appreciate you. Eric Raiders Hater in the building, man. Salute to you as well. Glad to have you here. Scrolling, man. I'm trying to keep up with you. J.E. in the building, man. What it do, man? Salute. Just got off work, man. Yeah, that's right. Yay! You already know what it is, man. For real. Man, crack you a cold one if you drink, man. Knock one back for me. You feel me? I'm trying to go on my little detox during the week, and then the weekend I go in full head of steam. All right, y'all. So we about to get into a breakdown unlike no other. Like I said, I like to bring you guys content that nobody is bringing you, because sometimes we got to look outside of the box, especially when there's nothing going on, and we're waiting for camp to open at the end of July. But we're almost there, y'all. July's next month. And then we just got to keep our head to the, keep our, what they say, nose to the grind. You feel me? Shout out to Steve the Loon in the building, man. Salute to you. Thank you for pulling up. Shout out to everybody that's here, man. I appreciate y'all, man. We're going to get into it. Let me get rid of this. Oh, we going to get into it. We got a damn good show. So what I'm first going to do, I'm going to break down exactly. Let's see. How do I want to do it? What order I want to do this in? I'm gonna give you my breakdown of exactly Pete Carroll's approach and how he develops the mindset and the focus for team players to go ahead and just conquer what it is that's in front of them, man. And it builds chemistry. It builds an atmosphere of positive of thinking and problem solving. It's everything all rolled into one, man. So without further delay, man, here's the breakdown, and then we're going to get into the other aspect. You know what? Should I do the main breakdown first? Yeah, let's do the main breakdown. Let's go.
Here's a breakdown of Pete Carroll's superpower to create team connection through mindset transformation and focus, which ultimately fuels a winning culture. 1. Core philosophy. It's all about the people. Pete Carroll builds everything around the belief that the better you know your people, the better you can lead them. His leadership begins with connection, not control. Relationship first. Carroll invests time into knowing each player, what motivates them, their background, and their emotional triggers. Safe environment. He fosters a culture where players feel safe to express themselves and be vulnerable, which boosts performance and trust. You win with people, not plays. 2. Mindset shaping. Always compete. Carroll instills a growth mindset in every player through his always compete mantra. It's not just about beating others. It's about maximizing potential every day. Internal versus external competition. Players are coached to compete with their best self, not just others. Mistake acts. Opportunity. Errors aren't punished harshly. They're reframed as growth moments, which reduces fear and increases confidence. This mindset transforms locker rooms from fear-based to purpose-driven. 3. Focus through mental conditioning. With sports psychologist Dr. Michael Gervais, Carroll introduced mindfulness, visualization, and mental training long before it became mainstream. Present moment training. Players learn to focus only on the current rep, snap, or breath, not past mistakes or future outcomes. Breathing and clarity. Meditation and breath work help players regulate emotion, especially under pressure. Quiet mind, clear heart, full speed. 4. Creating a winning culture. These principles evolve into a self-sustaining culture where leadership is shared and expectations are internalized. Outcomes. Legion of Boom was built on these principles, not just a scheme. Players like Richard Sherman, Doug Baldwin, and Cam Chancellor credit Carroll for developing them as people before athletes. Even after leaving Seattle, many of Carroll's players carry his teachings into leadership roles on other teams. Summary. Pete Carroll's connection-based approach isn't soft, it's strategic. By changing players' mindset from fear to growth and focus from distraction to presence, he cultivates an empowered, unified team that knows why it's competing.
And see, that's just the focal points of what he brings to the table. He's doing it from within. See, a lot of people coach from without. You know what I mean? Do this, do that. You mess up. Oh, you fucked up. But Pete Carroll doesn't just he doesn't hit you over the head with your mistakes. He uses it as learning lessons, and that's what life is. When you fuck up in life, I always tell my son, the best teacher in life is fucking up. Okay, it teaches you what not to do. You can't just sit there and harp on somebody like, Josh McDaniels ain't bringing this approach. That's why he loses locker rooms. That's why a lot of locker rooms get lost to by the coach, because they don't bring substance to them that they, not just in football, what happens after football. These are lessons that they can carry through life. And it's like, it's a trip that he's coming with that approach, more cerebral than physical. But yes, man, I like what exactly Pete Carroll is. You already know what we got. Hey, since we on Pete Carroll, man, let's go.
I'm out of town. There you go. There you go.
That's why so many players take with them the lessons learned from Pete Carroll. And now that he's here with the Raiders, he's breaking that all down and he's doing it all over again. If anybody knows how to change the environment, change the atmosphere of a franchise, bruh, this is the dude. This is the dude, and we're lucky, even at 73, we're lucky to even have him as a head coach to just get rid. And his approach is, I don't care. I gives a rat's ass what happened last year. Great approach. Okay, last year was last year. This is a new day. What you gonna do now? And it's just like with life. When you wake up in the morning, what are you gonna do that day that you didn't do yesterday that you should have done? Now's your opportunity. You know what I mean? So, hey, it's gonna get deep here, y'all. Hey, shout out to everybody that's pulling up. I appreciate you. Raider Knight in the building, man. Salute. Who else we got up in here? Tamar Gaither in the building. Salute to you, man. I appreciate you. Oh yeah, we gonna get it. We gonna dive deep in this one, boy. Hey, make sure you guys got your glasses on, cause you gonna see what I'm saying. All right, let's go. We did that breakdown, so now let's start getting in to exact. I'm gonna get into last. I'm gonna show you what the cause and effect is. Okay, this is Pete Carroll on him saying his approach and why he does certain things. This is Pete Carroll on team building.
The conversation from the beginning is to try to get them to feel comfortable to be open. I know you've talked to Brene Brown. She was one that impressed upon me a long time ago that you got to create an environment of openness and of vulnerability so that people will express themselves. They won't hold back. And if anybody's holding back, then I'm screwing it up. So I'm trying to find ways to connect with them. And usually we're a relationship-based setup here, and that means that we got to get to know who we're dealing with. And so I've got to put them in different situations. I've got to get them to speak. I've got to get them to react. I got to get them to laugh and tell the sadness of their story and the joy of their story, and get to all of those things during the process. So we're a very open, communicative group, and that's where the relationships are so important. I don't need to be friends with them. I just need them to be willing to express themselves and to really to be willing to expose themselves for who they are. So that's an ongoing, conversation. There's no one way to do it. It takes time, and you got to be a really good observer to make the most of it. It's really just by relating. I mean, and competition is the central theme in our program. We've used competing as a way to get guys to interact and get guys to, have to show themselves and have to battle. We shoot hoops, almost every day in our meetings, and that's just something that we battle at, and it just gives us an environment kind of and a tool to have fun. But when you're having fun, often you're not worrying about how you're coming across, and you're getting close to who you are.
And that's so true. That is so true. You take your mind off of, what I mean? Like, it's like kids when kids get out on the playground, they don't care what race the next kid is, or if he's fat or if he's big. It's only in schools when they break down and they're not doing anything together. But if they're in a situation where they got to play together, or even competition, if you're competing, I don't care about what you look like. I care about beating you. You know what I mean? So you're putting your focus on something totally different that is going to relate on the field as well. So he wants the players to be vulnerable, where they don't hold back. They want to express themselves. Say what's on your mind. What does that lead to? You get on the field. Guess what happens when they're on the field? They don't hold back. They go all out. There's nothing hold me back no more. I can let, you know what I mean? I can get out there and knock the shit out you. Rather than, I hope I don't get I hope I don't hit them too hard. No, I'm trying to, hey, like JPJ said, man, when we're on the field, I hate you. I hate you. But after the game, hey, how you doing? But on the field, the competition is that fierce. Where I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? I'm trying to knock your head off. For real, for real. Let me see. Marcus Banks in the building, man. Salute to you. Thank you for pulling up. Yes, indeed. V. Vaselli, salute to you. We got Willie Wayne. I'm make sure I got everybody, man, for real. We gonna tear back these layers, man, for real. But it's just interesting for me, the approach that Pete Carroll comes with, bro, because I don't see nobody doing it. The only other person I think, and you know what? Pete Carroll is probably the equivalent to Phil Jackson. You remember they called Phil Jackson the Zen Master? Because he was able to take a team that had characters like Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen. You had Michael Jordan. You had Bill Winnington. You had Bill Cartwright. You had, come on, Steve Kerr. You had B.J. Armstrong. You had, come on. He took all these different dudes and made it work. You took Shaq and Kobe, who there was a point in their career where they didn't get along because both of them want to be the alpha male of the team. But some way, somehow, Phil Jackson knew how to balance that. That is Pete Carroll. But Pete Carroll's approach is probably a little bit different, but in realms of philosophy, he made it work. He made it work. And that's how come they won so many championships, and that's why Pete Carroll won championships also. Can he do it again? I believe so. Can he do it with the Raiders? I say fuck yeah. I say fuck yeah, he could do it with the Raiders. And they went out there and got players that can fit into this philosophy. Who can I go get? And all these guys, and I hear, watch, we're gonna get into it, bro. Let me kick back. Let's see. The next one I want to bring to you. That was that one. I want to bring exactly. Okay, this is when Pete Carroll had the media day at the thing, and he broke it down a little bit more, and then we're gonna get into some more of that. So let's go.
We really operate. There's some principles, behind what we're doing, and one of them is something good is just about to happen. There's this unrealistic optimism that I know that my mom helped me, live with, and that it gives us an outlook and an attitude that we're going to make something of what is presented to us, and so I want to try to max it out every day. And if I can't do it, I can't expect the players to do it. So I'm not having any trouble. I'm not worn down. I'm not, oh God, well, how am I going to get it up this day? I don't feel like that at all. I feel like every day is just another chance to go at it and demonstrate that we can live it on a really high level and a high plane with high expectations and standards. And so fortunately, I've had enough years to figure out the language that it takes to translate that and convey it to the coaches and the players. And so we've got a way that we do our business, interestingly, I'm asking about this, but we did a class this spring at USC and taught exactly the same stuff to a bunch of students, and to see what would happen, to see how it would take, And it was so clear that we're talking about the attitude that you bring on a regular basis to everything that you're challenged by, moment to moment. How are you going to look at it? Are you going to take this as a competitive moment or not? And that's kind of how we live. And so when we do that, then it gives us a chance to push people. It gives them a chance to challenge them. It counts on us having to figure out who's who. It's very much a relationship-based approach, and so with all of that, it's got to be competitive. It's got to be upbeat. It's got to be ongoing. And so that I got to live that way. And that's just where I like being. So.
And see, the one thing I really like that he's doing, he's not just making the players compete. He's making the coaches compete. And see the way they did. You ever see the footage when they had the coach inside the big ball rolling around? Well, it was a competition that they had with the coaches. And what that does is now you got players backing the coaches like, say, for instance, it might be the defensive line coach going up against the offensive line coach. Well, the defensive lineman, even the defense, is getting behind their coach while the offense is getting behind theirs and letting those two coaches compete. I heard that they had this, and this is what happened. You know how they got a basketball rim at the practice for competition? They have one-on-ones. They had Chip Kelly going one-on-one against Patrick Graham. Patrick Graham against Chip Kelly. Who would have thought that in hoop? This is the kind of shit they do in that practice. Competition everywhere. All they gonna do is compete. Even the coaches is competing because they gotta compete against the other teams they coach against. So if you make it a mindset where now it becomes muscle memory, I'm not trying to compete, I'm just competing. It's over. It's over. And if you get the right players to be able to fit in line with that mindset, and you can all have them walk on one accord, special things happen from teams like that. All the time. Special things happen from teams like that. That just, they get it. They get it. And that's why, don't be so, I know we might sell ourselves short. Talk about the Raiders can get about 9 wins. Shit. Let's see. Let's see if it's just 9. Because I'm telling you, these guys are buying in. And just to prove how the players are buying into this, I want y'all to hear this next. Hey, this one right here really, it really shows you from the player perspective now of what exactly Pete Carroll is teaching and instilling in his team. This shit right here, Jackson Powers Johnson on the rush, bruh. He said a lot in just this statement. Let's go.
What's been a major win or a big takeaway that you saw leaving OTAs and minicamp?
Dude, how hard it was to leave. I mean, you get done with this and you see everybody sprinting to the door, sprinting to get on that plane.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you had people staying around, meeting each other's kids, Like we had like a little family barbecue, and everyone's staying around. Like that doesn't happen normally. People are staying around. They're trying to be around each other more, and that's because of what the organization's doing. Like we're having a lot of fun playing football, and we're getting more connected as a team. And I
Mhm.
think that's a huge takeaway from this camp is the strides we've made to become a more connected team and a team who loves to play football. I mean, it's tenfold. It's been a great investment that Mr. Davis has by bringing in Spy Tech and bringing in Coach Carroll, and it's starting to show up, and it's exciting everybody in the building.
And that spoke big because you got not one you as a player talking about it, but if you go in depth behind what JPJ is saying. Now, okay, let me break this down for you. Tiramisu time. All right. JPJ is in his second year. He's going into his second year. So the only thing he can compare is last year's regime during camp and this year's regime during camp. He said one thing that opened my eyes as far as I heard the comparison without him comparing it. Well, actually, he did kind of compare it, but you got to pay attention. He said after camp, you're used to seeing people. And how you gonna say you used to, and this is your first time in an NFL? College football, when camp is over, bruh, you got games coming up next. It ain't like the NFL. So your only experience was last year. So you're comparing last year to this year by saying guys would usually shoot out the door heading to the airport to go on vacation. He said the thing that caught me that was different is after camp, everybody was just standing around, meeting each other's families, their kids, and bruh, that's not a team, that's a family. That sounds like a family reunion. They tell you, oh, the family reunion's over. Everybody don't shoot out. Everybody's still meeting and greeting cousins you never met, aunts and uncles and so forth that, you know what I mean, introducing your kids to their cousins that they never met. That's what a family reunion is, and that's what this sounded like to me. And the only thing he was comparing sounds to me last year after camp, people shot out of there and want to get the hell up out of there. But this year, they want to stay. They didn't want to leave. They want to stay. And be around meeting the players' families and shit. That's a whole different mindset, bruh. That's a whole different mindset, and it's the kind of mindset that, especially when you add that mindset to the talent we have in the Genties, the Bowers, the Thorntons, the Porters, the Grants, and the list goes on and on and on. When you add that mindset to these kind of, and JPJ said something else. I didn't have that on here because I want to get on Pete Carroll's situation. But JPJ said something on the rush that also said they got studs on this team. And I ain't talking about the women that think they men. I'm talking about studs. Like real life dudes that believe I can do this shit. And then you put that mind frame with them. You can say 9 wins if you want to. That's the floor. Everybody, we were looking at 9 wins as a ceiling. Fuck no. I think 9 wins is the floor. That's the lead. The worst we gonna do is 9 wins. It's just you look at the schedule. The top 5 teams in the draft are teams with worse records than us, and we play them. And majority of them at home. We played top 7 out the top 10 on our record. Why we can't beat them? Why? Why we can't beat the Clevelands and beat the New Englands? These guys, there was a reason why they had higher draft picks than us. We knew our reason. We didn't have a quarterback. Now we bring in Geno Smith that knows the philosophy and the focus of what exactly Pete Carroll is trying to bring to the table. So not just that, now you got players, and what do they say about Geno Smith? He's like a coach on the field. So now he can relay what Pete Carroll is saying and pass it on to his teammates. Oh, they're going to fall in line. And another thing that JPJ said about Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly, he said, man, Chip Kelly would have you do some shit that you'd be like, damn, I never looked at that before. He'll tell you to run a certain way because defenses is going to look at you and by your reactions and your movement is going to predetermine what you're going to do. So that's why you want to constantly give them a certain look to make them. Now you can make the defense do what you want them to do. It's kind of like a quarterback looking off the safety. If the quarterback is facing to his right and I'm looking at the receiver there, what you think the safety is going to do? I can make the safety go anywhere I want him to go on the field. Well, it's not just the quarterback that can do that. It's the wide receivers. It's the running backs. Now you're starting to understand why. Why would they want to change Genty's stance? Maybe there was something about his stance that if he can change it that way, there's multiple things he can not duplicate, but dictate to defenses to make them think he's doing something that he's not so he can go the other way. It's all about presentation, smoke and mirrors. You're going to think we're running this play by how we either have the wide receiver or how we have the lineman, because the way that JPJ explained it, Chip Kelly had certain things between your start and your finish that you can do to dictate to the other side of the ball, the defense. You can pretty much move them like chess pieces just by what you do, how you positioned and where you're at, and what other things that you might tip off, purposely tip off to make them and the defense be like, oh yeah, he's going right. Then the whole defense shifts right and you going left. But damn it, last time he did that, they went right. There's a lot of shit, bro, that's beyond what we know. But when I start hearing bits and pieces of what the players are saying, and I know they don't want to say a lot, because you could tell by when they're asked questions, before they answer, they how can I say this without saying too much? Even the coaches are saying that. They're not letting the world know what we're going to do until week 1. And that's only going to be some of it, because the game plan for what we do week 1 is not going to be the same week 2. So I'm looking forward to seeing this season unfold, bro. I really truly believe I'm not saying Super Bowl, but I'm saying this team is a whole lot better. And that's why you start noticing ESPN, Sports Illustrated, they're all saying that the most improved team is probably the Raiders, especially at the quarterback position. Everybody wants to be on AOC. Now you hearing the truth. I'm hearing Geno Smith is throwing dimes. And then the one thing that they said that with his turnovers that he had was he tried to force things. But Chip Kelly is installing in him, if there's nothing there, run the ball. He's giving him the green light to run if there's nothing there. So therefore, you don't have to sit in the pocket and force shit. If nothing's there, run. Oh, you giving me the green light to run? Yes. Yeah, if nothing's there, don't force it for an INT. Run it and get positive gainage. Makes sense to me. So I can't wait to see how this shit happens. But we do got a lot of weapons on this team. There's a lot of surprises in these rookies, because to see Porter and Thornton working with the first teamers, bruh. I'm hearing who's the other one? I'm hearing about Tonka and Hemingway. JPJ talked about Thornton for real. And hold on. The other thing JPJ talked about on a rush was Trey Tucker. I think the things that some of these receivers weren't looking good because of was the fact of not having a quarterback. They said Geno is hitting motherfuckers right on point. They don't have to stop and come back for the ball, and he has the arm to do it. They're catching dudes in stride. I'm like, we've been missing this. Garoppolo wasn't shit. You know what I mean? AOC ain't shit for what we trying to do. Everybody wants to, put the wool over your eyes and think, oh, AOC, but we know better. Geno is far in between. They said it's not even close. Yeah, AOC does look better for himself. He looks better than what he did last year. But as far as him looking better than Geno, you get off that motherfucking angel dust. You get your ass off that shit and go to rehab. For real. Oh, man. Don't step on the Donkeys defense. I expect him. I think our team, Donkeys defense, bro, is just One thing, you can have a good defense and you'll look dominant against weak offenses. But when you have so many weapons, all 11 of your men on your defense, I guarantee you, are not Pro Bowlers. Let's keep it in perspective. All 11 men on Denver's defense will not make the Pro Bowl. If they all make the Pro Bowl, then that's a hell of a defense that can stop any offense. But Chip Kelly going to bring some shit that defense is not ready for, that they have not seen. And he has the weapons to make those plays that Denver has never seen be big plays. Like, name a corner on Denver's team that's 6'5" and runs a 4-3 flat that can keep up with Thornton. I'll wait. Tell me a guy that's going to lock Thornton down. And if Trey Tucker's looking as good as he does, what other players on the defense of Denver is fast enough to keep up with Trey Tucker and Thornton if they're on the field at the same time? And let me show you the cause and effect. You put Thornton and Trey Tucker on the field at the same time just to utilize their speed. What does that do to the box to stop the run? It lightens it. You can't stack 8 in the box. You got to have dudes over the top because you got 2 fast-ass receivers out there. What does that mean? It opens up the motherfucking runways for who? Genty. You don't have 9 in the box no more. It's your front 4 against my front 5. I got 1 man more than you do. Zone blocking, yeah, we going to jam it up. And we got receivers that block too. That Genty's going to have a hell of a year. And it's not just in the run game. They've been working on him in the past. He's going to slide out. At 5'8", you're going to get lost behind them 6'6" and 6'7" offensive linemen. Where the fuck is Genty at? Next thing you know, he's past the linebackers. Geno hits him. He's gone. Why? Because the safeties and corners are already taken out to play because motherfucking Thornton and Trey Tucker done took them deep. Now the middle of the field is wide the fuck open. Good luck. Good luck trying to put a linebacker on Genty or a linebacker on Thornton just because of size matchup. You're going to put a little old 6 foot even corner that probably ran at the best 4.45 or a 4.5 against a 4.3 flat. And the way if Thornton can run a 4.3 flat, I guarantee you he can go sub 4.3 on a good day. And there's going to be a couple of good days that he play. You know what I mean? There's going to be a couple of days where he's going to be faster than 4.3, maybe a 4.27. You can knock off a 0.03 second second runoff easy. That ain't shit. That's not even that's faster than a blink. Shout out to Alec M in the building. Salute. I'm not worried about nobody's defense. I don't think they have the personnel to really stop what we have going on. They're going to dictate to defenses how to play. And if you're weak at one place on that field on defense, we're going to keep hitting that shit. If you can't stop the run, guess what? We got Genty and Geno to run. That's the thing. It's not just Genty. You make the box light because of the speed on the field. That's not just Genty. Play action pass. It's going to suck anything in. Geno can keep it or RPO and run out first down. Why? Ain't no corners out there. The linebackers are sucked in thinking Genty going to get the ball. You take it to the outside. You got about 10, 15 yards, if not more, depending. That's just how the offense works like that. That's how a Chip Kelly offense, but it's not just the offense, it's the combination of the offense and the players you got running it. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So, I mean, I'm waiting to see how this shit unfolds. The question is, not will the Raiders be good, but when? When will they be good? When do they figure out and they click and they work as a unit? Because I guarantee you that's what Pete Carroll is doing with installing the mentality of the team first. We're going to install the mentality. Then we're going to give you the plays. Now in camp, we're going to put them all together. We gave you the mentality. We gave you the plays. Now get out there and run them. Oh, yeah, it's going down. It's going down. I have no doubt in my mind it's going down. Tubby Chile in the building, man. Salute to you. We got weapons everywhere, bro. And we're not done. We're not done. The scary thing is, see, this is just year 1 of Pete Carroll. This is the installation of everything. Now you're going to analyze this season, and see exactly who should stay and who should go. And once you figured out that, you go into free agents with 100 million under the cap again, with no dead money. Now you can go start picking. If you like, for instance, if this team wins, I say between 10 and 12 games this year, then next year's free agency, that's when you'll start seeing big contracts for big name free agents that they feel they're one or two pieces away from getting over the hump and getting that run into the playoffs. If they make the playoffs, they're going to shoot big after this season. And not to mention the draft picks of the players they bring in here. There's a shitload of linebackers, bro, that's bomb-ass linebackers that's in this draft, and quarterbacks as well. So you might even grab your future quarterback and just sit him behind Geno for 2 years. Let Geno do his 3 years, be done, hand the torch over to the youngster, and hit the ground running. Now we got a team that's going to be together for the next 10 years. Come on, bruh. You see it. Look how many young dudes is on the offensive line. The next 10 years, if they get this shit built within these the first 2 years, if they get that team to be a serious, not a playoff contender, a Super Bowl contender, if they can do that in the next 2 years, they're going to be that team. They're going to be that team. I just know it. It's just, come on, that's what Pete Carroll always done. Give them 2 years. How long did it take them with Seattle to win a Super Bowl? And they was playing musical chairs at quarterback to find the right one, and they found him. You know what I mean? The sad thing is once they moved on from him to go to Geno Smith did not have that same team that Wilson had to win the Super Bowl. Matter of fact, they went 2 Super Bowls back to back. They lost to the on that bullshit ass play call against New England. But they had a chance of going back to back. But then when Geno Smith took over for Wilson, Geno Smith did not have the same team that Wilson had to win the Super Bowl. Now I think Geno, this is the closest team. You know what? I'm going to say this. This team that Geno Smith is on with us is probably, like, I'm talking about the surrounding pieces, it's probably the closest that Seattle had with Russell Wilson. But now you got Geno back there. So if you would have gave Geno Smith what Wilson had, this is probably what it would look like. So, hey, I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I'm not saying we win in the Super Bowl. I ain't saying none of that. But they gave us 7 wins. Vegas is saying the over and under on wins is 7. 7. Bullshit. I call bullshit. I'll say, no, I'm setting it at 9. Over and under is 9. Over and under is 9. That's not the most wins we gonna win. We're not dealing with a rookie quarterback. A running back can come in day one as a rookie and get off. We've seen that happen. A wide receiver can come in day one and get off. Offensive linemen need a little more time to develop. But this team does not have a rookie lineman on it. Offensive line. You brought Malcolm Kuntz back. You got Max Crosby. Wilkins might not be back, but that's only one problem of the defensive line. There's ways to get around that shit. Your secondary. These are not a lot of rookies in the secondary. You only got one rookie out there, and that's Porter. Everybody else are veterans, young veterans. So it's not like they gotta, you know what I mean? They gotta fuck up a lot more than a rookie, because they're not rookies. So the mistakes are really pretty much removed from what a rookie would make. I'm just looking at the team overall. Besh is a rookie wide receiver, but rookie receivers can get off easy. If you know the route tree and you know the play, what mistakes you gonna make as a wide receiver? If you run the right route, that's you've been running the right route since college. You know what I mean? The tight ends. Brock Bowers is no longer a rookie. Michael Mayer's going in his 3rd year. Why this team can't do shit? Oh, the Raiders are a young team. They're a young team, but they're not a new team. If you got a shitload of rookies starting, yeah, I can believe that. Offensive line, yeah. Last year we had growing pains. You had Glaze and you had JPJ as rookies. JPJ didn't even start off at center. He started off at left guard until James got hurt and then he brought in at center. This will be the first full year JPJ plays the center position. And him and Gino already jumped off. When Gino came over, where did JPJ fly a plane to go work out with? He went to Geno Smith in Miami, Florida. This is how and Gino already knows what Pete Carroll wants, so he already jumped the gun. Soon as I got traded to the Raiders, I'm on JPJ. Let's work out on protection calls and get some work in Florida. And what did JPJ do after his rookie year? I'm there. Come on, bruh. This is not the mentality of a team that don't know what the fuck it's doing. You just needed to have the right leader to lead them. Pete Carroll's that dude, bruh. I'm convinced Pete Carroll's that dude. It ain't nothing else you can tell me. Shout out to everybody out there, man. I'm about to jump off here, man, but I appreciate y'all. I just want to break down Pete Carroll because I like the intricacies of a team build, like a correct way. You know what I mean? A different approach. And he does it by breaking down the mental and rebuilding that. He was building the minds. That's how you build a team. You break down whatever your old philosophy and what the old coaches taught you, and you relearn it all over again, but the correct way. So I do look for big things to happen with this team, bruh. It's just inevitable. It's inevitable. All right, y'all, man. Y'all go ahead and enjoy y'all Tuesday, man. Be safe out there. Remember, man, make it back home to your loved ones, man. I just want to bring that to you on a whole different aspect. I don't, sometimes we get caught in trying to duplicate other people's shit, or you don't even have to say redo. Yeah, if it's multiple duplications, then it's reduplicate. So yeah, I don't want to reduplicate other people's content because I gotta bring something different, bruh. Like sometimes we need shit to really think about that does make sense. You know what I mean? So with that being said, enjoy your Tuesday. Be safe. Make it back home to your loved ones. I'll be back tomorrow, same Raider time, same Raider channel, man. It's the Raider or the Lunatic Raider show on Raiders Allegiance, man. Your boy Lunatic Raider, man. Thank y'all for pulling up. Hit them likes. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Once we hit 3,000 subs, I will be giving away a TV to one lucky subscriber and be looking for the second annual home opener pool party. We're going to do it that Sunday at the Paris from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., man. It's free. Bring the family. There'll be food. There'll be raffles for some great Raiders gifts, man, and also support RAIDERVISION.com, VIZION.com for all your one-stop shop for everything Raiders, man. I'm Lunatic Raider. This is Raiders Allegiance, man, and I'm out this bitch.